Hey, Bruce Naylor here, and I'm going to share a really god-awful technical support experience with you right after this. Don't go away. Hey, how you doing? I just thought I would share this with you as a, is it me, or has this happened to you, or are you feeling that technical support from technology companies is just getting worse and worse? And I think deliberately. You know, as software companies in particular move to a subscription-based model where you're paying that bill every month, then I think you're entitled to a little bit higher level of support. I really do. Unless you're paying for a maintenance contract or something like that. But here's my issue. Here's what happened. Now, I've been a Sony Vegas customer for a little while now, and I like the product. It's an excellent little editor for Windows, very light resources. But the other day, Sunday, I'm editing a video, and suddenly the Vegas malfunctions, and I can no longer preview the videos. Search high and low for a solution. Found some old stuff, not very helpful. Forums are definitely all jacked up because they sold, or Sony sold Vegas to a German company called Magix back last summer, early in the summer. So I decided what I'd do is a clean uninstall of Vegas and a reinstall, put in my serial number, and I'd be good to go. Well, when I tried to register the software, I got caught in this loop where it wouldn't accept my license key and said that the trial had expired. So I reached out to Sony Creative. In their form, they had a form, you fill it all out, and then it says, hey, we're not submitting this because Magix has agreed to take over. We're not going to help you. You go to Magix, look around, then of course they're not really ready to go yet with Vegas, but ultimately ended up on a form that you filled out. It gave me a case number, and within so many hours you'd get a response back, which never ever occurred. So now I'm really at my wit's end because to me time is of the essence. I got other stuff I need to do, so here's what I did. I had been toying around with the idea of getting a subscription to Adobe Premiere for quite some time because you know, it became very clear that the support with Sony Vegas, you know, they haven't updated in a couple of years. Now the rumor is Magix has confirmed there's going to be an upgrade for the first time in 2 years. But Adobe Premiere is very popular, very well supported. You know, it's updated a lot. So I'm going to bite the bullet and buy this product. Now, here's what happened to me. Several times over the last couple of years, I've downloaded and tried out Premiere, and it worked beautifully. Everything worked just fine on it. So I thought that I would have no problem if I go ahead and pop for a monthly subscription, paid for it, installed it, and lo and behold, I could not use GPU acceleration. It was grayed out. The option was grayed out. So I get on the forums and look around. There's all kinds of people having issues, especially with AMD video cards. Well, time is of the essence, so I decided, you know what? Since I'm going to be paying monthly for this, I'm going to try out their technical support and get somebody on the phone. So I called. I got somewhere in the call you get an option to give your phone number and name, and they'll call you back rather than you waiting on the phone. Brilliant. Did that. 5 minutes later, get a call back from Adobe, says your representative is ready. Transfer the call. It rang about 9 times and then dropped and told me no one's available to take your call, and hung up on me. I went through that process not once, not twice, but 3 times. It just simply did not work. Then I tried calling and waiting on hold. And I was 38 minutes into it, and I had to get off the phone. I couldn't wait any longer. Now, when you're on hold with Adobe, and I'm sure this happens with other companies, you really need to let people know approximately where they're at in the queue and what their approximate wait time is. Not that with Adobe. You just got nothing but music for 30-some minutes straight. In the middle of the afternoon yesterday, I finally got a technician on the phone. However, you know, his accent was so thick I could barely understand him. And when he finally understood what my issue was, he told me I was in the wrong department. But he would transfer somebody to me, and they would be on the phone in less than a minute. About 10 minutes later, somebody finally picks up the phone, another technician, also very thick, hard to understand accent. And we went through some basic troubleshooting steps that I had already been through by going through the FAQs and listen, you know, what I've read on the forums. And he literally could not solve the problem. He tried whatever was on his script, and once he couldn't figure that out, we're not going to escalate this. What we're going to do is we're going to blame it on AMD, and we're going to come up with this absolute bullshit excuse that AMD does not have the latest drivers on its website. And like, now let me get this straight. You're writing Premiere to take advantage of OpenCL on drivers that are not even released yet. That makes absolutely no sense. Makes no sense whatsoever. As a matter of fact, they do have their latest drivers, and if you want to, you can even download the beta other drivers. This was a guy that simply wanted to get me off the phone because he could not solve the problem. And you know what I thought to myself? This machine works brilliantly. I know OpenCL is working. I know the video card is good, no problem. If you want me to pay $20 a month from now till however long I want to keep it, and you're not willing to support the product properly, and you're not able to provide technical support in a decent fashion, I have no use for you. I don't get it. I understand if it works, great, it works, but if you really have to depend on technical support from these companies, it really, really sucks, especially going to the subscription model. And you know what I did? I canceled my subscription to Premiere. And of course, they were good. They immediately refunded back my money. But they have lost any opportunity to me as a customer. Because I know if I run into a technical support issue, more than likely in the future, they're going to blame somebody else rather than their own software. That's a fact. And I'm just simply not going to put up with it. I don't know. Companies seem to be depending too much on foreign call centers to handle the support, email, and hiding from you. They don't really want to talk to you. They really don't want to support their products because I know it costs them money, and they want to hide behind all this. Look, technical support via email is okay, but when time is of the essence, you can't always wait 24 hours, and a lot of times you can't thoroughly explain the issue via email. That's a fact, and I want to hear your stories. What are your technical support horror stories? I don't know what the answer is, but I can tell you, especially if you're going to charge me every month, if I can't own the software, pay for it, and be done with it, and choose whether I want support or not through paying a maintenance agreement, then by God, support the product. And don't hide, your phone numbers. Don't always rely on email. And I'm not trying to be unreasonable. I know they're a big company. They got hundreds of thousands of customers to take care of. But they could invest a little bit more in their phone system. They could at least make sure that you know where you're at in the queue. They could make sure that calls aren't being dropped that they called you back on. And they could make sure that instead of blaming somebody else, well, they need to escalate the case and go a little bit deeper. They've got the tools and the knowledge to do it. They just won't in order to get you off the phone. And so, yeah, that's it. I just want to hear your comments and maybe give me some of your technical support horror stories down below. Maybe we'll share them in another video. Talk to you later.